How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Ayin Gimel, Daf 73 of Masechta Sanhedrin. Friends, your friends. Listen, friends, I used the shtick of reverse psychology with the people upstairs. I said, people upstairs, you see, now the thing over here is that where I live, in my house, the people, it's not that they make normal for them is extremely loud for other people. So I didn't say can you keep it down? I just said can you keep it normal? So I used reverse psychology. I said, I bet you just can't talk like normal people for an hour. Let's see if it works. In the meantime, in the past they've managed to do it. I've been very proud of them. And they have given themselves a pat on the back. They earned themselves a pat on the back, so maybe they'll earn themselves another one. Maybe I should bribe them. Maybe I should bribe them with prizes or something. Maybe I should bribe them with a prize. That's a good idea. I should bribe them with a prize. That's a really good idea. If you could just talk like normal people for an hour, I will give you something. I feel like a pat on the back has already been used. We'll have to come up. We'll have to go up with something else. Maybe candy or something. You got to think about it. A prize for being normal. Normally, I wouldn't be the one to give prizes for being normal. I'm supportive of alternative ways of doing things, but except when I'm recording Babylon Talmud. All right, let's go weiter. This is gewaldig. This is the sugya of, I would say Rodef, but Rodef is just one example of Matzilin Osam Benafshim, of people that you can kill them on their way to do an Avera. So Rashi Taka has an interesting explanation of this Mishnah, really in order, a holistic kind of explanation, but okay, because if you look at Ve'elin Shematzilin Osam Benafshin, I Rodef Achachaver Lahargo, right? So we say Shimon's chasing after Reuven to kill Reuven. So the simple pshat is kind of to say Shematzilin Osam Benafshin, that you save Reuven from being killed by Shimon by killing Shimon before he can kill Reuven. Rashi, however, gives pshat that these are examples where you save the perpetrator of the Avera from committing the Avera by killing them before they commit the Avera. Because one example in this Mishnah is, for example, Avodah Zarah. So you're not saving the Avodah Zarah from the worshipper, you're saving the worshipper from committing the Avera of worshipping a Getchke. So you're being Matzil Oso Benafsho, saving him from committing this Avera by killing him before he could do it. The same thing here, by murder, right? Murder is obviously a capital offense. You're preventing Shimon from committing the crime of murder, the sin of murder, by killing him first before he can commit the sin on Reuven. But Pasha Pshat, as I think the Pshat in the Gemara is going to be, is you save Reuven by killing Shimon first. But this is the gist of the Mishnah, right? That you can basically kill a person, take the law into your own hands. You have a license to kill in order to prevent this Avera from happening. So Ve'elin Shematzilin Osam Benafshin, these are the examples of where you kill the perpetrator to prevent them from committing the sin. Harodef Acher Chaver Lahargo. If Shimon is chasing Reuven to kill Reuven, so we can kill Shimon before he kills Reuven. V'achar Azocher, or if he's chasing after Reuven because he wants to push it, he wants to do an Avera with Reuven, Mishkav Zechur. V'achar Anai Marasa, or if Shimon's chasing after Anai Marasa and he wants to sleep with her. And Rashi says on kind of the first, the end of the last of the wide lines of Rashi, the first of the thin lines says El midavershu erva v'yeshbo kolon ufagam lenirdaf, right? So in Arayas, right? So for example, Nar Marasa, right, can go Zachar, Nar Marasa, right? A Zachar and a Nar Marasa, these are Arayas. There's embarrassment to the victim. There's pigam for the victim, right? For example, she's not a psula anymore, right? So by these arayas, nitan latzilo benafsho, right? You can kill the perpetrator. Avol, however, harodef achar behema, but if somebody's chasing after an animal because he wants to have beer with the animal, So if you see somebody being Mechal Shabbos, or if somebody's going to worship a Getchker, we do not kill them to prevent them from doing the Aver. How do we know that if Shimon is chasing after Reuven to kill him, he's going to kill Reuven? How do we know that we could Latzilo benafsho? That we could, I'll just translate it in the simple way I think it makes sense in this context, to save Reuven by killing Shimon. Do not stand on the blood of your fellow. Reuven's about to be killed, and if you could prevent that, and if the way to prevent that is to kill Shimon, so kill Shimon in order to save Reuven, and do not stand idly by while Reuven's blood is spilt. This pasuk of the Samar Adam Reyecha is needed for this, to teach to kill Shimon before he kills Reuven. I thought Lo Samar Adam Reyecha was needed for, like we learned in a Brisa. How do we know that if Shimon sees that his friend Reuven, or whatever, I don't want to confuse Reuven and Shimon. If somebody sees that his friend is drowning in the river, or a wild beast is dragging him away, listen by an olive, or bandits are banditing him. So shuchayv latzila. How do we know that he has an obligation to save his friend? Do not stand idly by while your friend is in trouble. So it's not dafka to teach that rodef matzila also benafshan. So so where do we learn out this concept of latzilo benafsha, that you kill Shimon to prevent him from killing Reuven? Well, we learn it from a kal vachomer by na'ar marasa, because we say that by na'ar marasa we could kill, right? If Shimon's going to sleep with a na'ar marasa, we can kill him to prevent him from committing this act upon her. So na'ar marasa shaloi ba'ela lefogma amra teira nitan latzilo benafshoi, that by na'ar marasa, where he's not going to kill her, Shimon is not going to kill her, but he's going to I don't know, how do you say pogame, to defile her, but she will still be alive, and yet we say you could save her from this defilement by killing Shimon. So then certainly if Shimon is chasing after Reuven to kill him, so then certainly we can kill Reuven. But one second, do we, just based on logical arguments, we're just going to say, okay, Shimon, we can kill you now. Based on just logic alone, we should have a mocker for it, a pasuk. So, by the Mispech of Rebbe, they say it was taught that it's actually, no, you're right. It's not just simply logical, but actually we do learn it out from the Pesukim, that in the context of Na'ar Me'arasa, there is an interesting analogy that the Torah makes, mamish, in the same pasuk where it talks about Na'ar Me'arasa. So what does the pasuk say? I'm going to read the pasuk. The pasuk says, "V'lanar l'sai sedover ein lanar chet maves." Right, we say that if Shimon chases after this Na'ar Marasa and sleeps with her, so she's off. She didn't do anything wrong, and it says it starts now bringing in murder to here. Ki kasher yokum ish are'eu tzachei nefesh kenadavar zeh. That just like somebody who kills somebody else, so is this thing. All of a sudden, mamish, in the same pasuk, we're equating Na'ar Marasa and rotzeach and murder. How come? All of a sudden by Na'ar Marasa we're invoking murder. How come? What are we learning from Rotzeach here by Na'ar Marasa? Right, what are we learning? So, well, Rotzeach came to teach us epis. We're going to learn more about this, I think, tomorrow. But let's say on the simple level, it's coming to teach that, that just like by murder, the victim didn't do anything wrong. Here also the victim didn't do anything wrong. We're going to learn more about it tomorrow with Yehareg Vayavar. But anyways, V'nim Tzalamed, and we're learning about murder itself. Makish Retzech and Na'ar Marasa, that we compare Retzech to Na'ar Marasa. Na'ar Marasa nitan latzila benafsho, just like by Na'ar Marasa we could save her from this defilement by killing Shimon, afrotzech niton latzilu benafsho. Also, by murder, we can save Ruvain from murder by killing Shimon. And how do we know that by Nari Marasa we can save her from this defilement by killing Shimon? Right, it says by Nari Marasa, I'm reading the pasuk, there was nobody to save her. Hayesh Mashiach, says the Gemara, but if there is somebody to save her, save her in any way that you can, even if it means killing the perpetrator. Gufo, we said earlier, how do we know that if somebody sees that his friend is drowning in the river, or that a wild animal is dragging him away, or listin boy and olive, or bandits are banditing him, you have to save your friend. The Pasuk says, do not stand idly by while your friend's blood is being spilled. But one second, this is learned from the Pasuk of I thought it's learned, right? We say, how do we, right? You have to return lost objects to people. How do you know you have to return his body if he's like going to be killed? How do we have to return his own body to him? So low that you will return him to himself, I guess. Kilu. So if you see that he's being dragged away by a wild animal, you have to save him. So if it was from Vashivosa law, I would think, okay, Kilu, if I can save him, I should save him. If I could return himself to himself, then I should do that. But to hire rescue teams or to hire somebody to help out in this endeavor, I might say no. Therefore, it says, do not stand idly by on your friend's blood, and even if it means that you have to pay or whatever it is, make sure that you save your friend. Wow. Taner Abban, the Rabbi said, Achai Rodef. Where am I? Taner Abban, Echad Rodef Acha Chaver Lohargo. Okay. Whether Shimon is chasing after his friend Ruvain to kill him, or whether he's chasing after another boy from Mishkav Zchur, or after a betrothed maiden, or if it's a rayas that you're chayv misas bezdin for, right? We learned about a rayas that you chayv skila for, sreifa for, but we also know that there are other rayas that are just a chiyuv karis. All of these things, matzilin osim benafsho, we save the victim we can kill the perpetrator to save the victim. Again, whether it's murder, whether it's mishkav zchur, whether it's nar marasa, whether it's any type of arayis. However, if what we're talking about is a almon, if a kohen gadol is chasing after an almana, or a kohen hedjed is chasing after a gush of a chalutza, there it's a lav. It's not a chiyuv kares. It's not a chiyuv misas bezdin, right? So it's a lav. In that case, we would not kill the kohen or the kohen gadol. We don't save the victim by killing the perpetrator. Nevda ba avere ein matzilin osa b'nafsho. Once the avera has been done, you can no longer take the law into your own hands. So kilu, I don't know if Shimon's chasing after a nari morasa, okay, and he's already having bia with her. So she's unfortunate. She's no longer a b'sula anymore, right? Kilu, she's already nifgima. It's already a problem. She's already defiled. So at that point, we can no longer kind of take the whole thing is that we could, right, we could prevent this thing from happening by killing Shimon. The thing already happened, so we can no longer kill Shimon. Of course, we could take him to court. We have witnesses. We take him to court, and he's still going to be chayiv skila for that. But we can't. It's no longer matzilin osam benafshin. Yeshla Moshia. If there's an alternative way to save her, meaning, if Shimon's chasing after an Nar Marasa and he's going to defile her, so we can kill Shimon. But if we can also say, hey, if we could talk him out of it without killing him, so let's talk him out of it and let's not kill him, right? Or if there's if you can injure him without killing him, as we're going to learn about, I think, tomorrow. So meaning if there's some way to avoid killing him, so we should do that. Rabbi Yehuda Omer says, Rabbi Yehuda says also, if the Nar Marasa, for example, says, wait, stop, don't chase after, right? Oy vavoy, we know all too much about scenarios like this today. We live right now in crazy times, right? We know all about the tension of wanting to save people, but at the same time being concerned that our efforts to save them might actually, God forbid, lead to them being killed. So if she's saying, look, I don't want you to chase after him, but let's say it's talking about murder, or let's say it's talking about Nari Marasa, she's being chased by this person, and he wants to sleep with her, and she's concerned that maybe if you try to do something, maybe he's gonna kill her or something like that. So according to Abuda, if she says, hey, I don't want you to do it, then don't do it. 1 second. Yeah, exactly. Right. The Gemara is going to talk about it in a little bit. But basically she says, look, I don't want you to do anything, just don't kill him. So then don't kill him. How do we know these things that we just talked about? That by Mishkav Zchur, Na'amarasa, and Kares, and Misas Bezdin, by Arias, all of these things, Nita Natzilo Benafsho. The Pasuk says, V'lanayre l'saise davar ein lanayre chet moves. Na'ar. So if you look, what's with my, 1 second. So if you look in the Pasuk, the way that Naire, right, it says V'lanayre l'saise davar. Naire is spelled without a hey. It's spelled Na'ar, but it's read Na'ara. So we can teach both Na'ar and Naire. So where am I? So Amar Kra, the Pasuk says Lanaira le'sai sedavar and Lanaira chet mavis. Na'ar. 1 second. Okay. So Na'ar. So we make a drasha of Na'ar zezchur. So that's teaching about Mishkav Zchur. Naire ze Naire Marosa. That's talking about Naire Marosa. Chet elu chayve kresus. That's reference to chayve kresus. Mavis elu chayve misois. Bezin, that's a reference to Arayus that are Chayv Misos Bezin. Kilu Arayus that are Chayv Kresus, Arayus that are Chayv Misos Bezin. Kolhani Lamali. Why do I need all 4 examples? Mishkav Zchur, Nair Marasa, Chayv Kresus, Chayv Misos Bezin. So Tzricha, I need all of the examples. Because of Achmon Nar, if we only had Mishkav Zchur, I would think Mishum Delav Orchei. So you can kill the perpetrator because, you're doing, what does Rashi say? This is an out of the ordinary thing and it's very disgraceful, therefore you can kill the perpetrator. But Naira Marasa, which is a terrible thing for let's say Shimon in our example, to sleep with this Naira Marasa, but it's kind of a normal type of bia. So maybe we wouldn't kill Shimon. So we say no, Naira, to say that no, it applies to her as well. Because of Rahman and Naira, if it only say Naira to reference a Naira Marasa, Mishum de Kapagimla. Okay, so we can kill him because he's defiling her. Avonar dilo Kapagimle emalo, but by a Na'ar, by Mishkav Zchur, he's not. What does Rashi say? She's no longer a besula. Right, right after this, right, that doesn't apply to a to Mishkav Zchur. There's no concept of besulim there. So therefore, I might think that Davka by Naira we would kill the perpetrator, but not necessarily by Mishkav Zchur. So we need both Mishkav Zchur and Naira. Because of Achmana Hane, and if we would only have Mishkav Zchur and Nair Marasa, Mishum Dahai Lav Orchehu, because by Mishkav Zchur it's not the normal way, therefore it's particularly disgraceful. Veha Kapagim Law, and by her it's because of it's defiling, right? She's no longer Basula, and that has implications, and therefore we can kill the perpetrator. Aval Shar Arayus, but by other Arayus, the Orchayu, which they're having Bia in the regular fashion. Velo nafish pigmayu, and it isn't like the same level of like defilement as like a nair marasa. What does Rashi say? Nafish pigmayu ka'arusa shechaviva v'yalaschen ala arus kilu this sort of betrothed maiden who has never been married before, and like I guess it's hard to like compare these things. They're all terrible, but like that somehow is like its own kind of stature, rather than like, for example, I don't know, a married woman who's already been married for a while, and I guess this doesn't make it any less terrible. But I guess like in some ways like the stakes are lower. Like she's already been married. That there isn't like bisulim and ksubis and like the nafkaminas are different than like kilo a new husband and new wife kilo. There is like this kind of whole like basula kind of status which doesn't apply to necessarily other arayos. Okay. Okay, so where am I? So arise the orchayu v'lo nafish pigmayu emalo. Okay, so I might think if we only had mishkav zchor and naimarosa, so then I might think that nitan atzilam benafshan only applies to those two things, right? So therefore, because rachmana chet. So we also have chet to say that it applies also to all chayve kresos. For example, sleeping with your sister, I think is a chiyuv kares, so it applies to that as well. Because of rachmana chet, avamina afilu chayve lavin. Now, if all it would say is chet, so any kind of sin, I might think it even includes chayve lavin, like amanu lekoyin gadol, gushavachlutzu lekoyin ejid, any kind of chet. Because of rachmana mavis. So then we also have mavis. Now we have chet and mavis. So it's like particular. So it's not all types of sins. Right, it seems to be particular categories. Because of Rachmana Mavis, if we would only say Mavis, Avamina Chayve Misos Bezdin in Chayve Kresis Lo. If we would only say Mavis, I might think that only things like sleeping with one's mother, which is a Chiyuv Skila, or one's mother-in-law, which is Sreifa, or daughter Sreifa Kilu. I might think the ones that have Chiyuv Misas Bezdin would be Nitan Natzilo Benafsho. So therefore, because of Rachmana Chet, so therefore we have Chet, we have Maves to say that Nitan Natzilo Benafsho applies to Chayve Kresos, Chayve Misas Bezdin, but not to Chayve Lavin. V'lichtov Rachmana Chet Maves v'lo boi Nair v'naira. Why doesn't the pasuk Pashut say Chet Maves, and that includes arayos that are karis, arayos that are misas bezdin? I don't really need naira, right? Mishkav zchur is, I think we said is skila, which is misas bezdin. Naira marasa is also skila, which is also misas bezdin. So that's included in mavis. Why do I need naira? Einachinami. Vela naira chad lemute oved avodas kochavim. One is to exclude oved avodas kochavim. We said in the Mishnah that in oved avodas kochavim you do not kill the person in order to prevent them from doing avodah zarah. V'chad lemute behema v'Shabbos. And we also said, what's that sound? I don't know. And the other one, right? So nar is to exclude avodah zarah, and the other one, naira, is to exclude behema and Shabbos. We said if somebody's going to sleep with a behema, we don't kill them to prevent it, as well as somebody's being mechal Shabbos, we don't kill them to prevent that either. What about according to B'Shim ben Yochai? The Amar Oved Avodas Kochav Nitan Latzila Benafsho Lomali. According to B'Shim ben Yochai, who says that Oved Avodas Zarah you can, right? Is Nitan Latzila Benafsho. So what's with Naira and Naira? Chad lemute behema, v'chad lemute Shabbos. So one is to exclude behema, and the other is to exclude Shabbos from Nitan Latzila Benafshon. I may have thought, as we're going to learn about tomorrow, that we would say Gzeir Shava of it says Chilul by Avodah Zarah, it says Chilul by Shabbos. So maybe if we're saying that according to Reb Shimon, Avodah Zarah is Nitan Latzilin Benafsho, so I might make a Gzeir Shava to say that not just Avodah Zarah but Shabbos also. So we say no, one of the right. So Naira is coming to exclude Shabbos. And according to Reb Shimon, who actually does say that Shabbos is Nitan Atzilu Benafsho, so what do we learn out from Naira and Naira? Okay, so still one of them is needed to exclude behema, and the other one ve'idach ayd because of Achman and Nar, because of Nami Naira. Since we needed Na'ar to exclude behema, but Nar isn't actually what the Torah wants to write, because we're talking about a Naira Merasa, so we have Naira there contextually, but really that was just because we needed the word to make sense, but really the limud is coming from Nar to exclude behema. Rabbi Yehuda said that also somebody, right? Also, if she says, "Look, don't just leave him alone." If the Nair Marosa says, "Leave him alone," said he won't kill me, so we leave him alone. We don't kill him. But my come forget what is the machlokas between Tanakama and Rabbi Yehuda? Right? Tanakama seems to say that even if she says that, we still kill him. Right? Still nitan latzilu benafsho. Whereas Rabbi Yehuda says no. In that case, we would not kill him. But my come forget what's the machlokas? Amaravis is Rav b'makpedes al pigma. It's talking about a scenario where she does not want to be defiled. She wants to maintain her besulim, but at the same time, but she's also saying, like, I also don't want to be killed. He's going to kill me. So Rabbanon Savre, a pigma kopid rachmano, makpedes al pigma. Look, the Torah wants to make sure that she's not going to be defiled, and she also does not want to be defiled. She doesn't want to lose her besulim, and therefore we're going to kill him so that she doesn't lose her besulim. Rabbi Yehuda, hayde kamer rachmana katle mishum demaso nafsha liktola. But Rabbi Yehuda says, look, the reason why the Torah says nitan latzila benafsho, right? The reason why the Torah says that we would kill him is because she's going to be so concerned to lose her besulim that she'd rather die than lose her besulim, and therefore the Torah says, okay, let's kill him so that she doesn't end up dying. However, in this case, but here she's saying, look, it sounds like she's basically saying, don't kill him, even if it means that like I'm going to end up losing my besulim. So therefore we don't. Right? So it's no longer a scenario where we're concerned that he's going to kill her, and therefore we kill him. Sounds like in this case, basically, I guess she wouldn't end up killing her. So Rapapa Abai says, Rapapa Abai Amana l'kohen gadol nami kapogim lo. Now by an Amana l'kohen gadol also, right? He's being pogim her. So why don't we kill the kohen gadol? Amalei. So Abai responds, "Apigma rabba kapid rachmana, apigma zuta lo kapid rachmana." That by amana lekohen gadol, the issue is, or gushavachutzah lekohen edget, the issue there is just a cholol, but it is not like a zona, right? By Arias, there's like it's a higher level of pagam, of defilement. She would be like a zona, whereas over here, it would be more like she can't marry a kohen, but it's a lower level of right. The child would be a mamzer in the first case. But in this case, it would be kind of a lower level. All right, fine. That was the Ein Gimel of Masechta Avodah Zarah. Masechta Sanhedrin. We learned about scenarios where Nitan Latzilam Benafsho. We learned about different scenarios where you can either save a person by killing somebody who's going to kill them, or from being defiled. Also, potentially save people, prevent people from doing certain averis by killing them before they have an opportunity to do the aver. Tomorrow we're going to continue on the sugya, some other very interesting topics coming up. I hope you enjoy. Peace out.